Hello and welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to clean up a couple of UI items. Okay. First of all, sometimes when I log in, I get this message from C9. Now it says memory limit hit. If you look at it, we're actually nowhere close. So to get rid of this, which can get kind of annoying, you can just click on this, select another one, hit resize, and then does not have, just say no here. And there you go, it's gone. Okay, so that may come up for you. Just follow those steps and you won't have a problem. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is if you look at the app, actually, let me pull up the Rails server. Okay, it's running. So over here, okay. If you look at this app over here, you see how we have these styles, right? Styles and ingredients that are displayed. For the ones that don't have it, we still showing styles and ingredients and we're showing nothing there, right? So if I go into the recipe, I see the recipe and I see style and ingredients empty. So we want to get rid of these two if there are no styles and ingredients. Okay, so let's make that update first. So those are the index and show page. So recipes and then index, which is this page right here. And one way to do this would be under recipe summary right here, where it says styles. On top of that, you can just type in something like this. If recipe.styles.any, then display this line. Okay. Then end this. Similarly, if recipe.ingredients.any, then display that, and then end. Okay, so we'll do the same thing in the show recipes page. Right here. Recipe, actually here it's the @recipe instance variable, so @recipe.styles.any. If @recipe.ingredients.any. Okay, so let's check that out. So I go back to our app. Okay, so I'm going to reload this page. You see how we have styles and ingredients displaying because these two have styles and ingredients. Here we go. Here's a recipe that does not have styles and ingredients associated with it. So in this case, it doesn't display anything, right? So if I click on it, perfect. It's not showing empty styles or ingredients. Okay. All right, great. Now the second thing I want to discuss, actually, I want to check something out real quick. Okay. So the second thing I want to discuss is even though over here, if I log in, when I go to new recipe, I see these options showing up correctly, right? The checkboxes are showing up right next to the style or the ingredients. I'm seeing in a few browsers and in PCs also in the display, depending on your browser version, this is not showing up in this way, okay? It's listing the 4 or 5 or whatever, the styles first, and then it's listing the checkboxes on the side. This is not a problem in my browser, and even in the Heroku code that we pushed, this has not been a problem. Over here, if I log in, same thing. If I go to new recipe, this has not been a problem here, but again, this is showing up as an issue in certain browsers and depending on the versions, right? So we're going to fix that. We're going to make sure we want that this works in any browser, not any browser, but at least in most. So since I saw that today, I'm gonna make a little bit of update to our CSS so that that displays correctly regardless of a slight version issue. So to make that change, I'm gonna go, that's in the form partial, so I'm gonna go to the form partial, and over here for the collection checkboxes for styles and ingredients, I'm going to give this another class along with checkbox inline. I'll call it input underscore checkbox. Same thing here. I'll give it a class of input checkbox. And I want to style our input checkbox. Okay. So if you go to your custom css.scss file and scroll down to where the input right here, I'm going to add some styling. So I'll say dot input checkbox, which is what we call the class. And then we want to only deal with the input portion of it. So the problem is being caused in here by this line, which says width 100%. Okay. If we got rid of it, then it was working for that particular field. But then it doesn't work for other fields which our application's using. So we're just going to update how the input works for the style, for the class that has input checkbox. So here I'm gonna just say height, actually, sorry, width. Width, auto, and then semicolon important. Okay, now save that. Now this should not have any issues here, so I'll reload this page. Okay, perfect. So this still works, okay? But the important thing is now on a PC, it will still work also, and depending on the browser version. The error I ran into was on a PC. Now it could be an issue with the PC or browser, I don't really know, but now at least we can be confident that it works here and there, okay? So now that we made the update, I want to save my code. So I'll stop my server. And over here, let's do a git status. Okay, so we modified a few files. So I'm gonna go with git add dash caps A, git commit dash M, and within quotes, I'll say clean up UI and style sheet. Okay, and then hit return, then git status. Okay, so let's do a git push origin master to push our code to our GitHub repo. Okay, let me just test this out real quick. I'll reload. Okay, 17 seconds ago. Okay, perfect. And then I want to push this to Heroku also. So git push Heroku master. Okay, so let's reload our app. Okay, now if I go to new recipe, okay, it's still working. And if I go to recipes and then notice how the styles and ingredients are not showing up here because they don't have any, but if I try any of this, that still works. And then, okay. Now I want to see if the edit recipe option is still working. So if I do edit, okay, these options are still showing up. Okay, perfect. All right, so that's what I wanted to cover in this lesson. I'll see you in the next one.